Recently, your government announced plans to sell through an auction, 170 elephants. Why is that? And who were the elephants sold to? Are you saying there have been no sale of elephants?
If they sell, they have a right to sell it. It's their property.
But it's the heritage of the people of Namibia.
It's heritage because we saved it. Europeans don't have those things. They killed theirs.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to AfriPost. I believe wherever you're watching us from, you're doing great. Now, Namibia is considered to be one of the countries with the largest deserts in the sub-Saharan region. This is because it hosts the Namib Desert. But one thing that is very interesting about this desert is that it has desert-dwelling elephants. Yes, and this is a treasure that most tourists come from Western countries, from European countries and everywhere to really just go and see how these elephants and these phenomenal creatures exist and live in the desert. One thing that happened in recent times is that President Hage Geingob, who is the Namibian president, reported that they were going to export close to 170 elephants to European countries. And this really hit people on the wrong side because different conservation agencies said that it is very, very wrong for elephants that have survived and have adapted to desert regions to be exported to a different ecosystem where they will not really have such kind of a life. I want us to watch this interview where President Geingob was put to task to explain why they are exporting elephants. Kindly watch and then let's talk about it after the video.
Recently, your government announced plans to sell through an auction, 170 elephants. Why is that? And who were the elephants sold to?
See, people own things proper. It's a kind of a capitalistic country. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody has elephants at their farms, they are selling it, but we control it. Our 180, I don't know where you got that figure from.
It's all over the news.
Well,
and animal protection groups are up in arms saying...
How did they take it away?
So
Did you see them being taken away? How did they transport them?
No, they're being captured as we speak.
Are they being transported? By who? And where to?
Exactly, that's what I want to know from you.
You are the one who was telling me that. I'm telling you it's not the case. So you know it, so tell me who is catching...
Are you saying there have been no sale of elephants?
If they sell, they have a right to sell it. It's their property.
But it's the heritage of the people of Namibia.
It's heritage because we saved it. Europeans don't have those things. They killed theirs. The British are telling me about lions. Do they have lions in Britain? We have them. We have preserved them. There are many, therefore we can do what we want to do with it. They tell us, you are just like them. They don't have elephants and lions in their country. But they want to come and teach people who have preserved that source.
Mr. President, Namibians were not only denied education by the colonialists, first the Germans and then later on the apartheid regime of South Africa. They were also denied land. Most of the land is in the hands of the white minority in Namibia. You've been carrying out a number of activities, including the land reforms, trying to buy back land and give it to the people. It's not working, is it?
Well, firstly, let me tell you how the 5 Western countries came into Namibia's independence process. When Angola and Mozambique got independence, they thought communism is one. But they decided where their kith and kin are, in Zimbabwe, Namibia, and South Africa, they must come into kind of direct the process so that they can protect their kith and kin. So the issue of constitutional principles that they drafted were not regarding land as land. There is no mention of land in our constitution except chiefs administering their land. It was made to be a property, so that the property of person cannot just be taken away from them under our constitution. So that was done that it is a property, not land. And therefore it becomes a very difficult thing, and under our constitution, just to grab the land. Yeah, we can.
Until today?
Until today.
In the constitution?
Yeah, constitution is our constitution.
Why don't you repeal it? Why
don't you? We spera. You have to go with time. It's true, land per se doesn't make you rich. I have a farm. I had it for 20 years. You can sit there and starve also on that farm. We try to buy land to resettle our people. We've spent a lot of money. But if you don't train them how to use that land, it doesn't help. So the idea is to utilize the land. Or let me also ask you, if everybody is in towns, they have jobs, are they going to ask for land? If they are properly employed, they have income. It's a question of income, it's a poverty. So if you can address poverty wholesalely, maybe it will help. But land, some people are using it now as a right that to belong to my country. But how about Windhoek? There's a land of some other people too who are living there. So things have moved on. But definitely we are addressing it in a proper way, where it is fair also to those whites whom we are reconciling with. We said, we made peace. We were at war, by the way. It was a difficult situation. Mm-hmm. So we had to reconcile. Now we are telling them we have political power that we have used, that we are now reconciled at political level. Also, not only land, other businesses, you must also reconcile with us at economic level. So the second phase, we call it, our former President Nyoma coined it to say second phase of our struggle. That is that of really economic emancipation.
But it's untenable, isn't it, Mr. President, when 90% of the population do not have access to land?
You see, land doesn't solve immediately problems. President Mugabe grabbed the land, and as is the solution, today land is being returned to some of the whites. So grabbing it alone is not going to also solve the problem. So we have to do it in a way that there must be a win-win situation one day to maintain peace also. You have situations where people are going to come when their kids and kins are being attacked. You saw right now what is happening. I was in Brussels. NATO people were meeting that they didn't invite me or consult me. Russians were maybe having their meetings there, they didn't consult me. But today, we are being urged to condemn and so on, while ignoring us as nobodies, because we are small people. But because we fight their wars, now we want us to have a say. Why didn't they consult me? That's my point. So that's how things work in this world. So we have to do it our own way, what is going to be good for us.
But some would say, I've been speaking to some Namibians who say it's not a question of not having access to land. It is a question of, are you the right person? Because most of the political elite have got huge commercial farms. So is it a matter of access rather than, the situation as you're explaining it?
I was born on a white man's farm. I could have grabbed that farm. Would you be happy with that? I bought a farm where I was born to call it my home. I could have grabbed the land. I could have instigated people to grab the land. But would we have had peace we have today? So I bought a land where I was born so that I can say I have actually, it is a home. Because I'm from Senda, people who are from the north say, I'm going home to north. So I was saying, Hage, where do you belong? That's why I had to say, let me go and buy the farm where I was born, in the area. That's what I did. So I didn't buy that farm to make profit. I said it will be my home, where I am from. That's why I bought it. And I had to buy it. I should have taken it, isn't it? But to maintain peace, I bought so that we can be fair to everybody.
Now, if you listen to President Hage Geingob, you'd really realize that the kind of ownership system that is provided in Namibia is something that is really questionable, because how is it that wild animals cannot be nationalized and instead they are provided as personal properties to individuals living in the country? Because as I know, like for instance in Kenya, things like wild animals, they are not owned by anybody. They are considered to be a national treasure. They are things that are supposed to bring the country together. So it is an opportunity that everybody can have to really experience the benefit of what God has given them. But in Namibia, you find that wild animals are considered a property. Land is property and it is not defined as land as it were. What is your opinion about this issue? Because how is it that a government, an African government, understanding the kind of ecosystem that is in Africa, could really plan and organize to export elephants to other countries? And when he's put to task about the plan to export these elephants, he gets disgruntled and he wants to really fume and asks the guy whether he really understands what he's talking about. Because how on earth would a government plan to export wild animals? But this is a phenomenon that is really happening. You know that most of these European citizens, especially the elite ones, they come to Africa and they say that they are treasure hunting. They go hunting and killing wild animals in our forests. And some of our governments are not even ready to speak up about these atrocities that are committed to our ecosystem. It is really bad that white people can come to Africa in the name of hunting, in the name of doing certain things that are not necessary, and then come and kill our natural habitat and destroy it using their leisure activities. This is not right. I remember there was a time in Kenya when rhinos were being killed because of treasure hunting. And rhinos, you know, they are very, very rare right now. In fact, if you know, in Namibia, initially some time back, these elephants were close to 3,000 elephants. But because of the change in the ecosystem and climate and everything that happens, including those treasure hunting activities, they have reduced to between 150 to 300 elephants. So this is really something that I think Namibian government and Namibian people should not accept, that they will be used to export these important African treasures that they can be exported to European countries. Let ecosystem remain as it is. God knows why he placed these animals in Africa. He knows why some of these animals cannot be found in Western countries. I think we should not really be subservient to the rights and desires of European elites and really think that they can come to our countries and dictate to us how they want us to really be governed, how they want our natural habitat to be shaped. In recent times, they have come up with issues talking about environmental conservation and anything. Africa in itself is conserving the environment because it is just the Western ideas that have come to this African continent and destroyed everything that we had here. But if it were to be left for Africans by our own culture, we are trained to be people who can conserve and preserve the environment in the greatest way possible. I don't know what is your opinion about this issue. Do you really support the selling and export of elephants by Namibia? Because for me, I think this is outrightly wrong and it should not be allowed. Comment down in the comment section and tell us your opinion. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing, like this video and also share. Thank you and may the good Lord bless you. Goodbye.